jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game on deck. A-Side official. Friday, you already know what it is, man. WCS back with another one. The first in the building. NYT on deck. Yes, sir. Salute to you. Pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jamal Neezy in the building. What's good with it, Neezy? Salute to your brother. Always, man. Thanks for your support too, man. Real talk. Thanks for being a real supporter. So we have NYT on deck, man. Jamal Neezy said, salute WCS, salute chat. What's crackhead Diddy James doing now? I wouldn't call him a crackhead, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't call him a crackhead, you know what I'm saying? You know, and Ray Sanders on deck, man, in the building. Salute WCS in the chat. Salute to you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this right here, man, I just wanted to come on here, you know, since you know, people want to throw dates out there. You know, the first half of December is supposed to be the date. They always do it, man. They got to put the information out there, which they don't even know too much about. If it's right, it's right, cool. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna make a difference if you're the first or the second, the third, or whatever. But my priorities are this when it comes down to cracking the glass. You know what I'm saying? We need to understand what we see in the cup or the glass or whatever is what we see in real life. Do we see Team Spence and Derrick James extending this relationship? You know what I'm saying? Is it crystal clear as you're tapping on the glass that this relationship is over? I don't know. I mean, I can go back and forth and tell you what happened. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you, but you already know. You know the half story of it, and you know the full story of it. But moving forward, based off what we witnessed and how bad it was, people are missing the point when I put it out there about he should get rid of Derrick James, right? They're looking at it like, oh man, it's too late for him to do anything. What better chance to do it? You took your first loss. You're no longer undefeated. And guess what? You did all that heavy lifting with those belts only to give them up at the end. Now, as a fighter, I'm pretty sure it's some discrepancies that's on the side of Errol Spence too. But also it's a discrepancy when it comes down to Derrick James, simply off the strength that he's been with this man for like 15 years. He said he's been with him for quite some time, right? Man, you are working for this man. You're supposed to make sure you do everything in your power to make this fight happen, man. I'm talking about hopping inside the ropes. I don't think you did enough, big dog. I don't think you did enough. I think it was a lot of huffing and bluffing. And that shit showed his face. know what I'm saying? They supposed to be on a collision course. And it was more so like a hit and run, god damn it. They supposed to have been on a collision course this whole time. And when the bell rang, it was a hit and run. I mean, because every time you turned around, man, Spence was being drugged. And that's when Derrick James was supposed to properly prepare this man to go in there and make this fight interesting. That's pretty much where I'm at with it right now, as far as these two. It's no excuse for you to be with somebody that long. And whatever reason, you say you ain't watching film. I ain't cool, man. You ain't watching film. But heading into a rematch, with this coach who should have prepared you. Now, I'm like I said, it's hard for me to just put all the culpability on James, but and because it's up to Spence too. But all I'm saying is, if y'all not communicating, then that's a problem. I'm gonna tell you something you might not heard either. I'm gonna go out there and say I believe that Errol Spence and Derrick James is back where they used to start, where they started as far as communication. Because it's a video that's out, right? Let me let you listen to this video. It's a video out here, and it doesn't seem like they're communicating the way they're supposed to. I'm not saying just, I know he had what up, send him a tweet, a text or whatever, say what up to him, whatever. The first 2 years they was together, they communicated, and it was just strictly on some boxing. They wasn't really connected. And you remember when WCS put it out there that they'd never make up those 2 years? I think at this point in time, him taking his first loss the way he did, and his people in his ear, I don't think they've been communicating since that loss. Check this out.
A little bit. How's Errol Spence Jr. doing? Have you seen him since the Crawford loss?
No, I haven't talked to him because I haven't.
Now, maybe I'm jumping the gun, so y'all let me know in the comments. But
did you hear what he said? And shout out to Boxing Points. This is audio snippets from his video, Boxing Points. Make sure you sub to the brother. I'm using his audio. It was sent to me, and thanks for that general who sent me the clip. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you. Appreciate you. Excuse me. But if you hear what he said, no, I haven't talked to her. He said, if you talked to him since the loss. Now, the loss was July 29th. That was last month. We damn near about to be on the 29th of August. That would be a full month, right? But let's get down to it.
goddamn, if my fighter has took a loss like that, I would have been speaking to him every single day. I don't care how many other fighters I got. I don't know what is going on with them in the camp and what's going on, but this is, I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments, but this is disrespectful to me. You haven't talked to him?
I've seen him. I've talked to him.
Right.
I've been out there.
What type of motherfucking excuse is that? If you seen him, you talked to him. This man took one of the biggest losses in his career. As a former fighter, he should know that one of the things that you could do is be there for your fighter. If you seen him, you would have talked to him. What?
Next
Yeah,
for Errol.
I want him to, if that's what he wants, but I heard that's what he wants.
Now, maybe this is how they do business, or they just that are.
So pretty much everything on the outside for Derrick, it has to come to him. Last time I checked, man, the trainer's supposed to work for the fighters. Well, in this case, it doesn't seem that way. It just seems like they have an arrangement. You know how those arrangements can be, right? We pretty much heard about the entanglement set. So if you know about the entanglement, you can know that the arrangements is a lot more loose, and it could be reckless, and a lot of uncertainty deals with the arrangements. They say the fighter doesn't work for the trainer works for the fighter. So who do we blame here? Because it doesn't supposed to be that a trainer is saying that he ain't talked to his fighter since the biggest loss of his career. This man took his first L. And listen, he didn't lose one belt, two belts. He lost three belts, y'all. This man lost three belts. And Derrick James is up here saying, I ain't done, you know, what did you say again? Oh, I ain't talked to him. You ain't talked to him, huh? That's a red flag, blue, green, yellow, whatever flag you want. All we looking at is the message that's on it. Something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Something ain't right, man. That's all. Something ain't right. And that's why I was putting it out here. Say, if you really want to make that change moving forward, to give yourself the benefit, you got September, October, November. You got 3 full months. We're talking about 4 times 3 is 12, right? You got 12 weeks. We're granting whenever camp starts. We got 12 weeks. 12 weeks is ample amount of time to get in shape. Ample amount of time to get in shape and be taught something. You're not going to be able to change Spence style. You're not going to be able to change 50% of what he's already been taught all this time. You know what's embedded in him. You're not going to be able to change those mechanical features that he has, because he's so used to naturally using it. He's so used to being flat-footed. He's so used to going in there, pressuring his opponent, and he has his comfort zone. As we seen in the fight with Crawford, Spence loves to dip down to get inside, to try to go to the body and then, work up top. He'd go body first up top. But in order to get within distance, to close down that moment, he does tend to bend at the waist a little bit. He tends to lower his stance, shorten himself as a fighter to get in so he won't take damage. But Crawford was freaking lighting his ass up, man. If it wasn't from a hook, it was from an uppercut. He was lighting his ass up. So those areas, right? You say to yourself, if he's improved those areas, the areas of predictability, does Spence have a chance? If he improved those areas of predictability, does he consciously have a chance? Because what's been working for Spence for a long time is the fact that he's been conscious about doing this. He's been sparring like that. That's the way he's been getting away with certain opponents that fit him, comfortably. He's been able to get in and have success with that. But if we both look, to the next fight, you have to understand there's going to be a lot more obstacles out there for Team Spence to face. And the obstacles I'm talking about is Team Crawford going in there and coming up with another plan to fight you in the rematch. The mindset they're going to have going into the rematch, being that they are already champions, undisputed champions once again. They're taking your belts. I would say it's going to be easier for them to come up with a plan rather than you and whoever you keep on your team. Now, that's just my biggest question. Is he going to be able to function? Function if he does get another trainer. I just don't know what other people don't see. Like, I guess I'm using more of a military standpoint where if you can't get the job done as a leader, they relieve you of your duties and they bring somebody else in. It's not the first time you fuck up. They give you several times to show yourself. They give you several times for it to trickle down. They give you warnings and then they relieve you of your duties. In this case, the preparation phase should have been a lot more thorough than what it was, and it wasn't, bro. Derrick James should have absolutely prepared this man. The percentage should have been much higher than what it was heading into this fight. This is the grand stage, man. This is the grandioso. What were you doing? This wasn't a ballroom. This wasn't a ballroom of affairs now. This was the global spectrum tuned in, the global spectrum. And y'all went out there with the if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality. Unbelievable. Shout out to True Media Today, USA Boxing on deck. What's good? Don Vaughn on deck. Salute to you. It's sorry to say, but if EJ wants a second fight, somebody from his team has to be a sacrifice. Well, from what we understand, the people that's on his team, Neezy, the main one that really holds a position, I guess a teaching position, you know what I'm saying? A position of delegation. It would be Derrick James. He's running the show. He's running everything. He's running everything. So you look at the program like that on both halves is that Errol Spence has to be willing to listen to somebody else if he has in mind somebody that he's gonna hire on, somebody that he trusts, somebody that he believes that can get him a little bit different without trying to change up everything. If they can look at film and see what Spence did wrong, you know, especially early on in the fight, you know, the way he was able to get, you know, knocked down. We seen how he was knocked down, but maybe he can apply a different type of pressure to Crawford, technical wise, from a technical standpoint, because a lot of stuff he was doing, Team Crawford already studied. You know what I'm saying? So people have you figured out that early. I know Crawford said he figured them out like in the first round, second round. When someone figure you out that early, that means you came in there with your notebook open. You cannot come in there with your notebook open and expect to take somebody to school or teach them your curriculum. It's not going to happen. So he has to get somebody in there that's willing to look at film. He's going to have to be, as a fighter, patient enough to get educated by someone new. Derrick James, I don't know what type of paperwork they got on one another. I don't know if they have any type of co-business ventures or whatever, investments. I don't know the arrangements they have. But what we do need to understand is that WCS don't believe he's competent enough. I wouldn't say competent. I wouldn't say that. I would say that he doesn't have, from an educational standpoint, the patience to look at film and just, you know, thoroughly come up with a game plan. Like when you're playing catch up all the time, most of the time it don't work out for you, because if Derrick James is going to go back to July 29th and look at that, it's not much you can get from Crawford except what Crawford was able to do to Spence at that time. And what he was able to do to Spence is a direct reflection of what Team Spence did not prepare or did not train for leading into that fight. So pretty much you've seen Crawford go in there and destroy your game plan or whatever game plan you had moving into that fight. That's what he did. So you're looking at your fighter and you're looking at his opposition. Which one should you go for first? Which one is more important? How much film study are you willing to do? First of all, you need to prepare your fighter. And I'm not sure if Spence, who has fought the same way for quite some time, I don't know, you can inject some updates. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Spence can be updated with new information at this point in time. 33 years old. He's been stubborn for quite some time. When I believe that when Spence talk about he's used to getting out of pocket and all this, I believe he's been stubborn in certain areas, and he ain't been trying to improve because he didn't think it was broke. And nobody did him like the way Crawford did him. So analytically, you know, Spence was looking at it like, I don't have to change anything up. I'm good. I don't know why Derrick James, who's been on stage and received this award, wouldn't have the same mindset as a Bomac. You know what I'm saying? You have two unified champions in your stable, but yet you don't have the champion's mindset to go in there and prepare your fighter as if this guy is going to be the toughest challenge. Like when I hear Terrence Crawford say he had a pre-camp and he went and did this, that, and the other, and he went to the UFC training facility twice, and him and his team learned some new stuff. I mean, he was treating it like he didn't care if Spence had a car accident. He was going to treat him like he didn't have a car accident. He's going to treat him to the highest availability of what training techniques or what type of information that his team can bring him do film study. Because he did put it out there that his team look at the film and come up with a plan. That's a lot of trust in the team now. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. And underscoring, I don't believe Crawford doesn't look. He's not looking at any film. I believe he's looking at some film. But when he said his team come up with a plan, you can obviously tell that his team is they're more of a unit than whatever is going on over there at the Texas warehouse. You know what I'm saying? I think he's more of a team. But when it comes down to July 29th, if he has September, October, November, 3 months, is Spence going to be able to overcome whatever bad habits that he has to make this fight more competitive? Because it's the way we're looking at it as consumers, we're saying to ourselves it's going to be worse than a rematch. Why? Because he was so predictability and one-dimensional. Is that Crawford looks so good, he's only going to look better going into the rematch. He's only going to look that much better, man. He's only going to look that much better. I'm sorry to say it, but EJ wants a second fight. Somebody from his team. I read that. What's good, Big Blunts and Boxing in the building? What's good with the Blunts? They have to use all these aerosexual excuses to pump up the second fight. Peace and blessings. Love, salute, WCS, certified, stamp the like button and support the grind. Samar Warren, what's good with it? Salute to you, brother. And people, I'm not gonna be able to stay on here this long because I ain't feeling that good. But Jamal Neezy said they have to use all these aerosexual excuses to pump up the second fight. To be honest with you, Neezy, I don't know if the second fight really needs pumping up. Like, I know you mentioned aerosexuals. I got it. But even the aerosexuals have very limited credibility. You know what I'm saying? Even the aerosexuals have very limited credibility. Because if they're sitting up here and giving all this whole entire list of excuses, from his gloves, from him being on snack supplements, you know what I'm saying, to him being a dirty fighter, and then Jermell Charlo put it out there, Terrence Crawford hit him behind the head. If they're using all these excuses, what level of confidence do you have going into this fight? Just based solely off Errol Spence, just based solely off him. You know what I'm saying? What confidence do you have? Because you say he was weight drained. That wasn't the Errol Spence you knew, but that's the same Errol Spence that beat up Ugas, and you always praising him for it. Now all of a sudden you think he a clone or something. You think that wasn't that, or your argument is that wasn't the same Errol Spence we saw beat up Ugas. No, that wasn't the same opponent. Yeah, he was in there when he fought Ugas. Ugas was a different opponent than what you got with Terrence Crawford. That's y'all mistake right there. You was taking the damage that was inflicted to Ugas, and then you was trying to transfer that shit over to July 29th as if to say Terrence Crawford was the same as Ugas. No. We can't allow that to be loquacious, recklessly, you know what I'm saying? Without any accountability. You can't just sit up here and run that off like that, like you experience. Come on, man. They was actually trying to believe that Ugas was Crawford. And the punishment that Errol Spence delegated to Ugas was going to transfer July 29th. And he's going to come in there with that educated, the only fighter that had the tag of educated jab. He got the best jab in the game, and he got pressure to go along with that jab, and he got the power. He had the JPP. Jab, pressure, power. He had it, y'all. He had it. That's what they were saying. Every time you listen to them talk, man, they was routing that shit, man. Through any channel they could, they was routing the hell out that shit. They was reinforcing that shit. When have you ever seen Crawford go in there and hear the fighter and bust him up like that in just a couple of rounds? Listen, when have we seen Errol go in there and bust up a fight like he did Ugas? So the fact remains is Ugas was a champion. Him and Terrence Crawford did have one belt apiece. Hey, they were world champions when they fought Errol Spence Jr. Somehow, the story has changed significantly because they don't want to identify how braggadocious they was, man. How they was just shitting on Ugas over and over again for his eye being swelled up. So when Errol Spence's eyes start to look bad in the second round, they're like, oh no. Ugas wasn't able to do that. Ugas wasn't able to swell up his eye in the second round. Danny Garcia wasn't able to swell up his eye in the second round. How in the hell can Terrence Crawford swell up this man's eye? How can he? Because they fucked around and put Terrence Crawford on the same level as a Ugas and a Danny Garcia. They never really give Terrence Crawford credit to go in there and beat Danny Garcia like he beat Errol Spence. Like they didn't see the beating on the horizon for Errol Spence. They just felt that he was a lower tier fighter who's been able to run the gauntlet and knocking out all his opponents at welterweight. And then, not to mention what a lot of us have been saying is that Derrick James was able to ride that train. Choo choo, chugga 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 chugga. They was able to ride that train from one station to the next until somebody derailed it. Somebody must have not have went back there and said, "Hey Diddy, that fight getting close. You know, his weight still like in 160s. You know, but you came up with a game plan yet? You watching film? Nah, I don't watch no film. I don't watch no film right now. I don't watch no film. But you don't think you need to watch no film for preparation? No, man. Photoreceptive. My shit photoreceptive. I remember I was there. I was ringside. What the fuck I got to goddamn watch film for? My shit photoreceptive. Goddamn shit. I got that telepathy going on, nigga. You can't fuck with me. Telekinesis. Goddamn it. I see all that shit, man. I said, so when you gonna get with Spence, man? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Are you finished or you done, nigga? You know what I'm saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We going in there the first time around, and we gonna do what we do. All right, that's what we gonna do. Diddy was up there sound like Birdman and shit. You know what I'm saying? He felt that we should put some respect on his name because he received the award, y'all. But the respect that we wouldn't put on his name is based on the fact that we saw there was a different change in between these fighters. We seen how Bud was going in there, getting people up out of there. We seen and heard that certain individuals was talking like, oh man, we haven't seen all of Bud's skills. We don't know what he has. I mean, it's just so many questions left unanswered. Man, when will we ever see that? Will Crawford be tested by Spence? Will Spence pull this out of him? What are we to see? This and this. They didn't know, bro. And then he gets in there with the supposedly the best welterweight, who's been claiming he's the best welterweight in the business, right? He's the best welterweight in the sport. He goes in there and get treated like he was an intern to the sport of boxing, like he just came in the gym. He's decent. You know, when you give you that D word, decent. Hey man, he decent, dog. What you mean decent? Well, he's decent, dog. So you mean decent to move around with our top guys, or decent, to be something special if he hang out in the gym long enough and get some training? Both, man. He's decent, bro. But do you consider him the top? One of the top dudes? And it could be decent though. He decent, dog. When they put that D word, that decent, man. He decent. I don't know what you're talking about, man. You got to be a little bit more like elucidate for me a little bit. I'm unclear on some shit, man. You know what I'm saying? What you mean by decent? He treated he treated Spence like a decent fighter. He was decent enough to be in the ring. He was decent enough to answer the bell. He's did enough by getting 3 titles, manufactured like a mother. You know what I'm saying? He was decent enough to get all the titles. He had it laid out for him, the easy route. It destroyed that man, ruined him. Because you know who else was taking the easy route there? The hottest chat in the MF game was Derrick James. Derrick James was taking the easy route too. Because look, nothing that Spence was doing was broke, in his opinion. Those punches that Ugas was landing on him, somehow I feel that Derrick wasn't really looking at it with a sense of concern, because he feels that that's just the way Spence fights. You feel me? I'm just saying, y'all. But shout out to you, Samad. Appreciate you pulling up, man. And I'm not gonna apologize for not having, that upbeat tempo. I'm trying to get there, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get there. One, what's good? Salute. Hello, ones, twos, 5, 10s. What's good? I see you. The 402 in the building. Salute. Bro, I don't think Spence will fire Derrick James. I do believe they will bring in help. At the end of the day, it will not help. I always told Bomac, if you can't improve let me see, at the end of the day, it's still not help. I always told Bomac, if you can't improve your fighter when it matters the most, you will not win. Hey, that's true words right there, man. If you can't improve your fighter when it matters the most, you will not win. That's profound right there. That's what I'm talking about. Facts in the chat, man. Facts in the chat. Real talk. Facts in the chat. Because when it matters the most, you would not win. How does that tie in? How does that bleed over into this rematch? It bleeds over a lot. Because we already know that Errol Spence is locked in, man. They say the older you get, the more stubborn you are. We've seen this man do some of the most routine. I'm talking about based off his style. He's been doing routine type of on the elite level. He's been getting away with routine type actions. He's been executing certain type of offensive strategies. It's routine for him to go in there with those strategies. That strategy is pressing forward, working off the jab. You know what I'm saying? Using his inside boxing if he gets close, because the pressure is to what? Break down your opponent, get close. You know what I'm saying? Abridge the distance. When you get in close, he automatically want to go to the body and up top. If he gets in there to the point where he can throw that jab, he's a boom boom. You'll see him throw the 1-1, and then he'll try to come over the top with the 2 while he has the 1 in your face. Man, goddamn, Bud Crawford was I swear to God, he was on the clock with that shit. Like he seen or felt that left hand coming over the top every time. Like it was a time that Spence landed. When he knocked him down with the right uppercut, Spence did land that left hand, right? But to get in to land that left hand was routine. You know what I'm saying? He was steadily trying to pop. Sometimes he'd throw the jab with authority. Sometimes he'd just put it out there to basically as a distraction, for that left hand to come on the top. But it's routine shit. You can tell that Team Crawford has studied it. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to talk about this. Okay, 402 said he don't think he will fire there. You might be absolutely right with that, because I'm on the outside looking in like everybody else. I'm assuming, right? I'm looking at it like you don't have long left in the sport. You have a big fight coming up. There's been fighters that change up in between rematches of this magnitude. There have been fighters that do it. But those fighters have to understand that they have to lock themselves in to seeing somebody new. They do. They have to lock themselves down to seeing somebody new. They have to be willing to take full advantage in the short window they have, whether it be 3 months, to lock themselves into the routine. Over. Now that Spence don't have to have a fat camp, right? He need to lock himself in to whoever they bring in the camp. But to also caveat to what 402 said, I'm looking at it like this also, 402, is that whoever they bring into the camp, are they going to be able to converse amongst one another and bounce knowledge and bounce talking points and bounce ideas off one another? Is it going to be a round robin respect? You know what I'm saying? From voice to voice. I'm just putting it out there. Like, let's just say he need 2 more people other than James. 2 more people. Are they going to be able to sit down after film study or after what they seen in sparring or what they seen in training, or just basically in the interim? They have to look at July 29th. Okay. Everybody look at July 29th and give their input based off their assessment of the fight, and then move forward like that as far as the fight plan. Just like what Crawford said they do over there with team, with Bomac and his coaches and all. I mean, Crawford and his coaches. That's what they said. My coaches come up with a plan and then we execute. Okay. No one truly knows what the plan is. You know what I'm saying? Over there, how it all plays out. But in Cliff Note form, that's what they do. But my dilemma is the stubbornness from both the trainer and the fighter. You know what I'm saying? 2 oddballs. They are odd because they really didn't want to be around each other. Well, Spence didn't want to be around Diddy James, right? And now you heading ahead to even a bigger fight, in my opinion. This is a bigger fight because one loss doesn't determine everything about your career, but who you losing to will have even a more dramatic effect moving forward for us. That's the way I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Who are you losing to? Like, this fight is huge. You know what I'm saying? You lost one. People are not really talking about the one loss. They're talking about who you lost to. At the moment you lost it, you was a unified champion going for undisputed. You lost. And then you look at the how. You look at the who, the WHO, and you look at HOW. How you lost to the who. That how you lost to the who? Woo. God damn. How you lost to the who is what everybody has etched in their thought process. How Crawford lost to the who. I mean, Errol Spence lost to the who. How Crawford defeated you. That's the biggest part of it right there. If he doesn't bring on any other trainers, at least 2, you're doomed. They're doomed. I'm not worried about anything, period. I'm going to go in there with the same mindset I had for the first fight. I felt that Crawford was going to go in there and dominate this guy, and he did. I told people Spence didn't have 0% chance of winning. People always want to measure this. He's a professional fighter. You know how many professional fighters I've seen get licensed and they never had a professional fight, amateur fight? So as long as you have minimal prerequisites for the sport of boxing to obtain a license, come on, we got to stop acting like there won't be more tomatoes, you know what I'm saying, ragu-esque fighters in the sport. I know it's hard for people to. I know it's hard for people to process, especially the aerosexuals. But right now, we're talking about what's better for Errol Spence moving forward to get this rematch and to make people tune in. We need some breaking news from out of that camp. Diddy James ain't it. This fight is different. Y'all notice that? This fight is different. Spence better make the change like Michael Jackson, man in the mirror, make that change. In a drastic way, Michael Jackson didn't actually have a physical that he had to deal with, a physical human being that he was competing with. The man in the mirror is just something that, that he can manipulate, whatever. But you can't put Crawford in the mirror now. That's a reality. Bruce Gas, Boxer Jackson, boy, what's good? Salute to you, OG. Diddy James out here like Akuda Matata from the Lion King, meaning no worries. Man, he's not worried in a sense tomorrow because he's getting that check. You know what I'm saying? He's getting that check. I don't know what the arrangements is. I don't know what the paperwork. I don't really get into that. I don't know if he's locked in with Diddy James for a certain amount of fights and he get paid a percentage or whatever. I don't know how that works. That was Diddy James' last training to EJ. He showed him the Lion King. That was Diddy James' last training to EJ. Showed him the Lion King. Oh shit, man! Don't tell me he showed the Lion King, dog. Well, what did he show him when Scar came over there and swiped at the paw when old boy dropped? Shit, Diddy coming off like he's Scar right now, dog. Spence need Blu-ray and Warren Guzman to come and help Diddy James. Hey man, I like that combo, dog. I love it. I like the energy of Guzman, man. Seeing his workouts, his like his upbeat spirit as a trainer, and then to get Blu-ray in there, understanding that he's been out, for quite some time, but his name does register when it comes to Spence. Like people, man, dude was getting a lot of hype over there, Blu-ray training Spence. So, I can hear it in the brother's voice that he really wants an opportunity to return. And being that there has been some years to go by, I'm pretty sure he's matured too and learned a lot more as a strength and condition. I really want Blu-ray to be able to have that opportunity again, man. I mean, we're talking about people tuned in. We talking about people be going nuts, man. Talking about damn Blu-ray back over there as a strength and condition. Oh shit. Yeah, people be getting, they'll perk up a little bit, man. Blu-ray back over there. But does Spence really want to take himself through that rigors in a 3-month period? I think it's worth it. I'm not going to lie. I think it's worth it. Shout out to Shaw News and Sauce Experience, AK Showtime. Shaw, what's good with it? Salute to your Team Tucker official in the building. Team Spence got what was looking for, a humbling, embarrassing, exposing ass whooping. He did. I cannot deny that, bro. I cannot deny that at all. He did. He got an ass whooping, bro. He did. He did right. He said he been getting out of line his whole life. Crawford gave his ass a DP. Crawford gave his ass a DP for that. He warned him, got out of line. Facts. The aerosexuals are hurt. He took off his belt, didn't he? Didn't he? That Shaw News. He took off his belt, bro. He took off his belt. I had a new excuse from Diddy James. And I quote WCS, and the hottest chat in the game gave out care packages before July 29th. And they had some bag lunch meat in it. That's why EJ lost and my coaches sucked. Man, shit, that shit would have been funny as hell, man. But they have to look at the effort that was given, though, Samad. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We already told them that we was going to have that premium bologna. Not just any bologna, that premium bologna. You know what I'm saying? I took time and effort to keep that shit in the trunk of my car doing extreme temperatures. I mean, that bologna was looking a little bit funny, but you put some government cheese on there and you put them goddamn pieces, 2 slices of white bread on there. It covers up all that now. You know what I'm saying? It covers all that up. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Put some mustard on there, cover it up. I like that. Shout out to commission. I like that. Snack stands for Spence need a coach. I like that. I like that. Creativity. I like it. I like it. That's the first time I heard that. I'm gonna have to use that a time or two. You know what I'm saying? Moving up. I don't know if you heard it from somebody else, but hey, that's your credit, man. Spence need a coach. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It was the same EJ. He just got exposed and beat up from the feet up. No, no, no. NYT, hold on now. When you say the same EJ, what EJ we talking about? The one that's locked up at Area 28? Are we talking about that one? Or the one in the ring? Because supposedly, he was abducted, neural linked, and he's somewhere getting all this freaking treatment. They put a clone out here, dog. They say that wasn't one. They say the EJ that when the cameras rolled on him, he was sitting back there prior to the fight, pre-fight, and he looked sleepy. That wasn't the EJ. That was a whole nother person. And I'm saying to myself, damn, maybe somebody from Team Crawford should have gave him some snack supplements before he went out there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that should have been it. But shout out to the commission on. I just say the commiss. Spence need a coach like that. How can a crawfish do that much damage to a big fish? Hey, good shot, man. Shout out to Rashid, man. What you been up to, dog? Salute to you. You know what I'm saying? Rashid been in the waters for a long time, man. He been in the Serengeti for a minute. What you been up to, dog? What's good, man? I'm good, man. Well with it, fam. What they used to say back in the what good, famo? Famo. Famo. What's up, cousin? Cousin. Shit, cousin. Sticker Boys, what's good? Salute WCS Morning Chat. Salute to you, Sticker Boys, Fishing Sports on deck. Like I said before, man, I would, I'm trying to catch up in the chat. I can't be on here long, man. But if I'm not saying in the building with the B word, it's just because the energy level is a little bit off. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all I can say. Crawford beat Spence like he stole something. He beat him up like he was his big brother teaching him a lesson. All of that. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the front line of Shaw News and Sox Experience, man. Showtime Shaw has been, nailing this in, for quite some time. That, he once had a close connection over there with Team Spence. You know what I'm saying? So he know him more than most, even though people look at the precipitation of criticism and they don't do their research behind all as why the criticism is coming the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Why was it sprinkles a little and then it turned to hailstorms? You know what I'm saying? You have to do your research. But shout out to the frontliner, man. The UGK media, man. Shaw News on deck. Team Tucker in the building. Did anyone see the ref outside the ring trying to stop the fight right before the Harvey actually stepped in? I did not see that. To be honest with you, Stickum Boys, I was more focused on the ass whooping that was commencing inside the ropes. It was a lot going on in there, to the point where I was, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was indulging in some fish, shrimp. I had a whole seafood platter. It was a lot going on, man. And I wasn't paying attention to what was going on outside the ring. I'll take that back. I was just a little bit. Every time he'd go over there and talk shit to Charlo, I say, yep. Tell him what's on your mind there, bud, while you whooping up his stablemate. Go ahead, man. You know what I'm saying? Let him know. Shout out to Trick Noty in the building. The Oracle has arrived. What's good with the Trick? Well, a WCS salute this morning. Great brother about to lay it down. but just wanted to say what's good, man. Derrick James over there holding those American flags, looking like a gay Republican. Hey, man, my whole point was putting this up. You see the look on Spence's face, dog. It's always a story. You know what I'm saying? That trick. I just don't. Look. Come on. Look at his hair. This is not recent. This is the older pick. Look at his face now. Like, come on, man. He looked disinterested, bro. That's no Photoshop shit. You can find this on Google. Come on, man. This is ennui. His mannerisms say he's ennui, man. He's not really looking like he's like, man, come on, man. He doesn't even look like he wants to be there next to Diddy James. And if they got a contract, he has to deal with it. But he has to make suggestions. Just because you got a contract with a coach and you're working out of his gym don't mean you cannot make suggestions. If that is indeed the case, you're in more trouble than we initially thought. If you can't suggest anything to Diddy James, you're done. But shout out to Trick Noty in the building, bro. The Oracle on deck. I'm hoping the rematch of Spence makes Bud flip the kill switch. Then Bud Drago comes out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want to see Bud Drago, but you know what? I'm kind of off that Drago, Samad. I'm more so on my Hulk shit now. I'm more so on my Hulk game. I'm looking at, in order for you, look, y'all saw when David Banner how much it took for you to fuck with him. And for okay, stop that. And then when he got them, bling, the music came on. He turned around, his eyes start turning green. You know you're fucked up. At that moment, you know you're fucked up. God damn it! It's time to create space. Create space mean running the opposite way. I want to know. Look, people don't understand how serious this level is. This is serious, bro. Errol Spence wasn't able to get Bud to turn into the Hulk, man. The Hulk is when he starts to fight and smash. Goddamn Bud smash on his ass. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even get there to the 10th round. And ninth round. And Harvey Doc stepped in. Harvey Doc had been monitoring. He said it himself. He was concerned about the punishment he took in the second. And he was, he looked at the 7th, right? And then he said Crawford took 8 off. But you saw a little glimpse of the green coming out. But I don't know. It might have just been, maybe the hope was still preserved. But I'm thinking, y'all, seriously. I'm not thinking Drago, man. I'm thinking in this rematch, I'm thinking Crawford is going to be the Hulk, man. And I don't think Errol is going to have to do anything crazy. I don't think Errol has it in him to make Bud turn into the Hulk. I just think his mindset, he's going to go in there and make it even worse than before, man. Come on, man. I just think he's in trouble. I just think he's in trouble. Real talk. Truth be told, I think he's in trouble. Salute. He said, I got snack for sale. Tap in. You said tap in, goddammit. I'm hoping the rematch of Spence make Bud flip the kill switch. And that's the biggest of them all. I think when Bud flip the kill switch, that's a mind. It would be great if it's like around the 3rd round. I mean, I want us to get a full 10 rounds. The first 2 rounds, we're gonna say they, filling out or whatever. I don't know, because I think Bud, after what he experienced with the power, and he was like, that power wasn't too much of anything. Give us good 10 rounds with the kill switch on. and let's see who survive. You know what I'm saying? Let's see who's able to withstand it. We haven't seen fighters withstanding Bud Crawford's kill switch on that level because Sean Porter was supposed to be the guy. And when Bud flipped on that switch, he was over. It was done. We can't include David Avenesian because he was never was supposed to be anything to tempt Bud Crawford to go that route. But he didn't have to even go there. His eyes didn't turn green. I didn't see any of it, right? But with Errol Spence, can he get the eyes just to turn green? And when he flip on the kill switch, he get the Bud, he get the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Is it possible for him to do that? That's all. Is it possible for him to take him to that? Can Errol Spence take Bud to the kill switch where his eyes turn green, he turned to the Hulk? That's my biggest question. I don't know if, from what I've seen, I don't know if he's slicker on the inside. He's definitely, look, I tried to speak on this to a point to give Errol a chance without people hitting me in the DM to my, you're not giving him a chance. You think he ain't that. And then he had an accident. I don't want to talk about the accident no more. The belts exchange hands. But all I'm saying is, even if Errol Spence turns on the, whatever switch he has, right? Let's just say he's feeling much better at 154. Okay. He's feeling much better at 154 than he did at 47. He has more strength. I don't believe he has any type of switch that we never seen before besides the switch he used, the pressure. That's going to be more of an equalizer to Terrence Crawford's kill switch. When Crawford turns on that shit, he pretty much wraps stuff up. He pretty much get down to business. It's wrapping up. We're about to end this. Like, it's tough for opponents, as you've seen him do in the 9th round, to withstand that. So how does Errol Spence get to that point with Diddy James in his corner? I say he doesn't. I don't think he can get to that point, y'all. I don't think so. I don't think he can get to it. I'm gonna stick to my guns on it. I don't think he can get to that point, y'all. I don't think Diddy can get him to that point, bro. I understand he's older, but he can be taught a certain look. You can teach Errol Spence. You can show him a game plan. Come on, man. This is an Olympian. You can show him a game plan. You can use what he already got because that ain't going nowhere. But you can come up with a strategy. The strategy is key. Making sure he's in better shape condition-wise, but his strategy, have a different strategy on how you're going to approach Crawford in the first half of the fight. Because if you go out there and you go with this pressure shit, knowing that Crawford's countering ability is very accurate, you know what I'm saying? He keeps his appointments when it comes to him landing punching. He absolutely keep his appointments, y'all. So they're gonna have to come with something different than this pressure shit. If he comes out in the first 2 rounds like he did in the first round, and you don't really see anything different, like with his footwork, I really don't think he's gonna make it past the 6th round this time. If Crawford comes out faster than what he did the first fight, where he just allowed it to be a semi-filling out process for Spence. You know what I'm saying? He was just up there, getting a feel for and all that. And then he turned it on. And when he turned it on, he was like, oh my God. Damn, this is easy. This is easy, dog. And then the rest of the fight went the way it went. MD Mills, what's good? Salute to you. On deck. Bud treated Spence like a little brother. MD, what's good with it? I partially agree there, MD. But it was like that little brother from another mother. You know what I'm saying? It was like that brother from another mother. They you know what I'm saying? They couldn't be full brothers now. They had to be halves and halves and steps and halves. Because you just don't treat your brother like that, man. That brother was from another mother. For real. That brother was from another mother. He treated that man like that. I'm hoping the rematch of Spence made Bud flip the kill switch. It's just lingering me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how much energy does it take for Bud to flip the kill switch? Just think about it. Does he actually have to be provoked? Because, okay, we can say he was kind of provoked in the Sean Porter fight. And then what provoked him in the Avanesian fight to just go ahead and close that shit out? I'm leaving all the other fights behind. Now I'm not talking about the Kell Brook and all. I'm leaving everybody else behind. I'm just saying. Somebody told him he was down on the scorecards. Boom, David Banner. He started changing the shit. David Banner. Was David Banner in the Avanesian fight? Nah, he's probably walking down the street going to the local food mart. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Spence had. Look, I don't think Spence would have did anything different than Crawford in that fight. It might have been a little bit harder for Spence if he fought Avanesian, but who knows? Like I said, I don't know. You talking about pressure, and it's really nobody even giving Spence the control button to say, hey, he has that kill switch. Nobody's saying that. He just has pressure. That's it. But with Crawford, I don't think it was time in the fight where Avanesian provoked him. Now, we know July 29th, point blank period. It was nothing to provoke Crawford from turning to the hole. He didn't have to put on the kill switch. But I'm curious to know, when a fighter does not have gears like Spence, will he have enough to deal with the boxing IQ of Crawford? I'm talking about just pushing the button on that kill switch. Like Crawford said it himself, man, you have to do something for me to respect you. You have to make me respect you. And I think that not only do Spence have to make Crawford respect him on a redundancy, but what are you doing for him to respect you? Are you landing some damaging blows? Are you basically inflicting punishment on him? What are you doing for him to respect you? And then when you get his respect, will you even know that you got his respect? Because a lot of times Crawford stick out his tongue, right? Like if you look at the Jose Benavidez fight, I think maybe Jeff Horn, he stuck out his tongue. Not so much. I'm talking about decent fight. I'm not talking about, Hank Lundy situation, nothing like that. But he was sticking out his tongue, with Jose Benavidez. But also, I just felt like that was to let Benavidez know he ain't doing nothing special. But he also stuck out his tongue when Errol Spence was coming in, and he really hadn't landed anything significant. And Spence was closing distance to come in and try to land the left hand. And Spence and Crawford stuck his tongue out and pinged him with that right uppercut. So I don't know what requires him to cross over and flip the kill switch on. And then we have to ask ourselves Samad, is that once the kill switch is on, does it stay on? You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen a fighter extend him long enough. When like Sean Porter, we didn't get to see him when the kill switch was on. We didn't get to see, can a fighter fight tit for tat, punch for punch with Bud with the kill switch on? Can they do it? Once he turned it on and keeps it on, what are the results going to be? How long does he keep the kill switch on? What provokes him for turning on that kill switch? What does it? Is it something that goes on for his mind? Like, that was a good shot right there. Like, we're talking about someone who basically fought the first fight being in total control. Total control. It wasn't a moment where we didn't think Crawford was in control. But heading into the rematch, let's just say Errol Spence coming in with a different strategy, right? And he's looking a bit more decent in the first half of the fight. And Crawford started to get physical and be more aggressive and turn up the heat. Would that be the switch? Or that's just him applying pressure? Can we separate the kill switch from pressure? Or do we even know what that is? Because I don't know, brother. I don't know, because it seems like when Crawford, I mean, come on, man. He's very effective when he kind of turns up the volume and gets aggressive. But I just think in the ninth round, that was the kill switch right there. He says time to shut it down. It's time to shut it down. Was that just him being aggressive, or was it the kill switch? I don't know. But we do know that we seen it with Igis Kavalaskis. We seen that, and Igis Kavalaskis didn't make it to the final bell. He even admitted that, hey, when he landed that punch, it's on. Shout out to Martin King Boxing. What's good with it, bro? Salute to you. I appreciate your run, no doubt. Shout out to Mr. Gumbo, aka Hot Grease, in the building, man. I see you up there. Salute to you, big bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling Gumbo the big bro. I'm older than he is. You know what I'm saying? Man, hey, man, I got some big bros out there. Shout out to the big bro Gumbo, man. You know what I'm saying? Those big bro status, dog. David was going to make Bud change his gloves the next round. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then he turned around. Hey, Blunts, that might have been a kill switch factor right there to say, let me get this out. Let me go ahead and get this out of here. But, in comparison to the Hope, I just think Crawford has it within him to fight at certain levels. He has switches. And not all of them are kill switch. I just think they're switches that leveled up. But he does have a kill switch, though. You can tell by his demeanor and how he handled intense situations. You can tell, dude, he has a kill switch in him. He, killer be kill mentality, bro. And, it's just a lot of me to saying that Spence don't get somebody else in his camp for this December fight, it's going to be extremely worse than what it was the first time around. Especially loving what I'm hearing from the aerosexuals, that they looking for the real Spence. So hopefully they have that search team out there that they can get this man, the right Errol Spence, and bring him back, so they won't come over here and make themselves look like fools. You know what I'm saying? Don't make yourself look like fools no more. Seriously. But y'all hold it down, man. I may be back on later, may not. But y'all continue to support the channel. And big salute to the hottest chat in the MF and Game A-Side official. Man, continue to support the channel. I appreciate y'all. One love, man. I'm out.